Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Bulb. Bulb. All right, there's a big movie out there right now. We have to talk about it because everybody's talking about the Scavengers Age of Neutron.
Scavengers?
Yeah, the Age of Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron?
Mike, they're just burning.
Jimmy Neutron.
Doing the Neutron dance.
Oh, do you have that?
Neutron
Do you
dance?
have that?
Of
Can you
course.
find that right now?
I hate that song.
Oh, come on. I want to talk it up. Find that right before we talk about
Come on, the Neutron
before we
dance.
talk
For
the
what it's
Fantastic
worth, Mike,
Four.
If I was burning, I would not be doing a Neutron dance. I'd be finding a fire extinguisher.
Oh, Neutron Dance was the Pointer Sisters. I like that song.
Not a fan.
Not as
I
good
like
as,
that song.
as the Electron.
All right, hold on.
So the movie
that even
is
mean? Or the
Spider-Man
nucleus.
4, right? Is that what it
Five,
is?
I think. The
Transformers.
Age
whatever.
of Ultron, Mike.
even more
Age
Avengery.
Of Ultron.
Avengers.
It's got that fat girl in it, right?
Batgirl.
What?
Doesn't it?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
She
I
was
don't know.
pregnant.
Oh,
But
that's
they
right.
No,
CGI'd
no.
her
I'm
out.
talking about the blonde. Isn't the blonde Rebel? The blonde fat girl.
No,
isn't
no,
she
no.
in the-
She's in the singing movie. That's the singing movie.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait, fat girl.
I'm not paying attention
Rebel
to movies
Wilson.
anymore. There's
Oh,
nothing
you
that
mean Perfect
that
Pitch
interests me.
2.
Perfect Pitch 2. Is that what she's in?
Yes, yeah, but I wouldn't call her fat. You know, I don't know if that's the fat
Hey,
shaming
Mike,
is something we
can you
definitely
be a
get
little
into.
more out of touch, Mike? Can you be a little more out of touch with the world,
It's
man?
okay, Mike.
Do you want to talk up this Neutron dance record so we can be done with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hell,
Okay.
that's not the right record. Damn it.
Come
got
on,
the
Rob.
Electron?
I'm sorry, buddy.
Can we get Rob a bigger screen so his fingers can be more fleet? I feel like if we get you a bigger screen, your fingers will move quicker.
Yeah, you can
Is
get
that
a big
foolish to
screen.
think
No,
that?
it's fine. But the problem is, it's not the screen. It's the software. It's the
No,
hardware.
what it probably is the way you have it organized, because you're having
How
trouble
would you-
finding
how
it
would you
with your own
suggest?
system. Well, I mean, you would go to Pointer Sisters, and then their hits, and they've got what, 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5
No,
hits.
4 solid hits.
For this, it's best to search it by title. I promise you.
So you go through all the end songs.
Yeah, wouldn't Pointer Sisters be easier?
No, because then you have to go into Pointer to the album to the song.
Ah.
This is actually just finding it by one, and you can go by grid and go like by letter.
Yeah, I would say that's not as efficient as going by
You're going
actual
through, like,
artist.
10 million songs.
Yeah,
All right, the
because you
next
got to
ti-
see it.
Mike, the next time you need a Pointer Sister song, go to Oscar. Okay, are you
No,
ready?
I think what I'll do, what I'll
got it
actually do
already?
is, because I just started talking right there, I think I'll talk about, doing it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Why
Okay.
not?
Yeah, but you won't have a jingle though.
Oh, no, I don't have it.
Yeah,
It's
and YouTube will burn you.
YouTube sucks
It'll burn
ass.
you.
All right.
Yeah, YouTube burns it because they say Neutron Dance to get people to go there, and then it's like a clip from a movie.
Back to Rob.
Are you ready?
All right, very good.
Here we go.
Non-stop music.
All right, you got to start it again. Bad board work there. Too much jingle and not enough record that starts out. You see, he hates the record, so he wanted to jingle over it.
Too much
and the
jingle
jingle completely took out. That's got a really good punchy start to the song.
Music
so you gotta
is
get
the
that.
star, Rob.
I would do a
I
stinger.
disagree. I think the personality is the star.
I think you would not do a I wouldn't do a stinger. I mean, I would do a stinger or a stager as opposed to a jingle.
Okay.
That goes, and what was that jingle? That horrible jingle. What
Non-stop
was
music.
that?
I don't know where I have it. I have several jingles.
It was overmodulated. It was horrible.
All right, I tell you what. If we need someone to be Booth, and I recommend that it's Oscar reading
Yes.
a liner.
All right.
All right, very good.
Take 2. Pointer Sisters, Neutron, Mike O'Mara, go.
That's not a liner.
Oh, I was directing.
How about this? Fun all morning, music all day, Music Power 105 WAVA.
How about I do this? How about I do a jingle and I sing it?
Oh,
All
perfect.
right.
Perfect. What's the out cue?
Here we go.
All right.
Where your friends are. WDRC, where your friends are. WDRC. Hi, everybody. It's the Dick McDonough Show for a Friday afternoon. Hope you're having a good time. 4:33 in the city of Hartford. Want to remind everybody we'll be down to the Connecticut River with the fabulous East Hartford JC's Chili Cook-Off. Should be a fantastic time, everybody.
Nice.
Even when you nail
Wow.
it, I still hate the song. You know what else I hate?
guess it does suck.
I hate I'm So Excited, too.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, play that one, please.
Yeah.
That's a great... You
Made
don't like the
famous by
Pointer
Saved
Sisters,
by
then.
the Bell.
Well, you know what?
You don't like the Pointer
Jesse
Sisters.
Spano.
I like a certain thing. They did a song called...
caffeine.
What was it called? Fairy Tale that I like very much, but it's old.
God, Fairy Tale. Oh my! What is wrong with your brain?
Oh, it's screwed up, Mike.
I
Here's some
swear to
drug use.
God, I'm so excited. Was like, you have to understand, when you're playing as many records as I used to have to play, you get a song like I'm So Excited, and it was just like fun.
A monster.
It brought energy to
Yeah.
the show and everything.
You'd
you
put
know?
the record on, and then you take out your blow and do a line, and you're ready for the next hour.
I bet that's how it worked. I bet
The blow was in the record jacket.
I bet Rob. I bet you liked Spandau Ballet, didn't you?
I mean, they had. I would take them.
True.
Over. I like them better than the Pointer Sisters.
You bastard.
Sacrilege.
How can you start a Tuesday show like
What's
this? I
Sandow
swear to God,
Ballet?
I am embarrassed to be called your friend.
And let me do the liner, and I'll play I'm So Excited, okay?
All right, here we go.
From the Apple capital to the nation's capital, 92.5 Wink FM.
Ah, Winchester's finest.
Wake FM. Hi, how are you? I'm that morning guy. I've been on this radio station. You might meet some of me all around the country, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at every radio station in every small to mid-market in America, and I've been there for 72 years. That's why. Why? Well, because I like to control everything, and I really don't have any upward mobility whatsoever, so I'm going to stifle all the young talent that could come through the pipeline by keeping my job as a crappy disc jockey for 75 fucking years.
Nice.
Mike, you have to
Is that the
admit-
guy I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
the morning
you're the
guy
right
out
guy.
there?
You're the right guy. And then,
Whatever his name is.
then
Terrible.
they-
Horrible. Great little radio station. Great little radio. You know what? And you want to hear the bitterness in my voice?
Sure.
Great little radio station where an old fading disc jockey would have gone to die.
Yeah.
Where I would have eased into, moved my family out to Winchester, the
Okay.
country of Winchester, and the country of Winchester, the countryside
country,
around
yeah.
Winchester, and then just relaxed at that little station. But no, this guy down here, we have two guys that have been here for 750 years. You know, that would have been a logical landing place to move down here.
amazing.
and,
You know
maybe
what?
Get on the
Great
radio.
stick and great in community involvement. And what do you
Right.
get? You get board op center. Hey. Hey,
Right.
hey.
Yeah.
Do you,
What's the other?
Do you ever dream of owning your own station and doing what Z Bridges does?
I would never ever want to own a radio station because it's you've got the different layers of management, and I consider that to be the ultimate. You've got program director, which I was.
Oh, this is the jam.
Mike, this is so much
Talk
better than the
this up.
Pointer Sisters.
Please.
Are we talking up? Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay.
Oh,
We'll do this
man.
coming out of news,
So
okay?
you both love this.
Panty dropper.
Oscar's send is starting to break up in my headphones a little bit. So I mean, I don't know what's happening.
He just wants to
but,
stop listening to me.
No,
No,
no.
I'll actually. I'd like to hear that. All right, I'll talk up Spanish.
All right, and we'll come out of news for this one, okay?
All right, very good. All right.
WMAL AM 630 News. I'm Bud Steele.
WMAL. Good afternoon. I'm Bob White. That's right, Bob White. Bob White having a fabulous afternoon with you. And now, here's Spandau Ballet to sing for you. Now you can talk up
You got
that
the-
up
you
to
hit
the
the-
first.
you hit the music.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you hit
That's
it,
the
though.
second post, but you
You
can
hit
hit the nah, and then here's the real song starting right now. I'll do it twice. This is True by Spandau Ballet, my least favorite song in the wide world. I sure hope you enjoy it, everybody.
Wow.
Funny how it seems.
Oh, no, please don't do that.
It's the worst.
Oh,
It's
God,
not
my
the
worst
worst.
nightmare just
The
happened.
definition of the 80s. You had Spandau
this
Ballet
this is the
and
80s.
Taylor
Listen,
Dane.
No, this is Mike. Hey, it's time to subscribe to Showtime.
Hey, everybody. It's the station everybody can agree on, even the boss. Hi, everybody. I'm Lou Katz. Double O to my friends. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. What a great day it's been. Sorry for all you American Idol fans out there. I know you might be crying in your beer today. And, hey, if you are an American Idol fan, it probably makes a hell of a lot of sense because you're probably drinking beer at 6:45 in the morning because you've got such a pathetic life that you're still watching American Idol.
Nice.
Now,
Who was your favorite pointer?
Bonnie,
I like Ruth.
of course you liked Ruth.
I don't know.
How could you like anybody
I
but
don't know
Ruth?
any of them.
You don't like June?
June? No, and there was one that went out on her own, wasn't there? Wasn't there a
Yes.
solo pointer?
Yeah. Roseanne.
Pointer. Country singer, right?
Can we start the damn
Yeah,
show,
we can,
please?
absolutely.
My God.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
I know you're mad, but can we just talk about this reasonably?
Honey Bonnie, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Who's that?
I am her lover.
What?
We had a little fight, but I'm sure you know whose fault it was. It's like being in love with some tiny little brick wall.
How the hell you understand her?
I usually don't even know what she's talking about. But we use body language.
But I'm calling the cops.
No, this is outrageous.
No.
This is Rachel profiling. I can't be a lesbian because she's so unattractive and talks like some tiny little robot. Well, let me tell you something. She's my tiny little weird robot. And I love her.
What are you doing? Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to show him that I love him.
What are you doing?
Distracting him so he won't call the cops.
Yeah, I need to report two suspicious women on my property.
It's not working!
Sexy.
Okay. Sexy. Oh, yeah. Pull my hair. I like that. Yeah. I love it when you pull my hair like that.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his office chair, here's Mike.
That's Sofia Vergara from the movie everybody's talking about, The Avengers Age of Ultron.
That's
she
right.
does a fantastic job in that film.
She plays
we are-
Quicksilver, Mike.
Oh, that's right. Quicksilver. Oh, I love it. That's the guy with the cowboy hat. Welcome, coming to you live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, on air, online, and worldwide. The Mike O'Mara Show, a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners on the planet because they get it. If you are here, ladies and gentlemen, as Jerry Lewis used to say, ladies and gentlemen,
Towards the end, yes.
then you will. It's not the end yet, is it?
Mike, I do believe we are officially towards the end. And that's coming from a very big fan.
Well, if you're here, you get it, and we're happy to have you here. Our show today brought to you by Stamps.com. Stop the music. They hate it.
No, it's good.
No, they don't hate it, Mike. We hate it.
Time. There's never enough time. And trips to the post office eat up tons of it. And that can really slow you down. Luckily, now you don't have to go to the post office, thanks to Stamps.com.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing about going to the post office, it's inconvenient. It's a giant hassle, especially if you've got heavy packages or lots of correspondence.
You know
to
what it
mail.
is, Mike? It's a time vampire. It sucks
Right.
up your time.
And I don't know if you've been reading the news over the last 30 years, but if you go to the post office, I mean, what are the odds you'll run into a crazy person?
Yeah, look out.
Am I right, fellas?
Look
I mean,
out.
come on.
Yeah, ladies.
Stamps.com.
The lines are horrible.
They are too.
You use your computer and printer to buy official U.S. postage with Stamps.com, and you can do it right from your desk. They'll even send you a digital scale. It automatically calculates the exact postage for any letter or package at any class. No more tedious trips to the post office, no more wasted time, and no more Russian roulette by thinking you might bump into some crazy that's, 3 people in front of you that didn't get his package sent the right way it was supposed to
Mike,
get sent.
who needs that,
Exactly.
right?
Right. Act now for a free no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer, including a free digital scale that eliminates all the guesswork and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone, and use our code TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in TMOS, Stamps.com, and TMOS. The time is now.
Thank you.
No. All right, so we didn't do that in the opening segment. We were going to talk about the the Star Wars movie, The
Avengers,
Age of
Mike.
Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
That's what I was saying. The Age of Ultron. Both Oscar and Rob rarely go to the cinema in the same weekend, but you did.
The
because
last
this
movie Oscar
got
and I
you
saw
excited.
together, Mike, was Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
Jersey Boys.
And
That's
we
right.
were-
It was.
We were forced to because we were in the same hotel room.
That's right.
That's the last movie you
Yeah.
watched together. And so Age of Ultron, CGI Fest, right? Is that what it is? It's
Mike,
a
I am
superhero
now-
comic book crap? Is that what
I
it
am
is?
now officially too old to go to a movie that's popular. I just couldn't do it. It
Yeah, no,
moved
you're going to
too
make a
fast.
blanket statement about that? All right, well, you go first with your review. Go
It
ahead.
was, you know what? The kids liked it. I took Robert and his buddy Sean, and they had a blast. But it could have had to do with the motion picture environment. But by the time they got to one of their fantastic action scenes, it moved so fast that I couldn't tell what was going on. It was
Now,
just
who plays
boom, boom, boom,
who
boom,
plays
boom.
the Joker in this one?
This is Jack Nicholson, Mike. No, it's Caesar Romero.
I got you, didn't I? I got you with that one, didn't I? I don't know. So this is somebody give me a little background on the Avengers. This is a comic book, The Avengers, right?
It is,
that what
and they're all Marvel comic characters, and there's this guy, right? And his name is Ultron, and this is his age.
All right, I have seen
He's
seen
the wrong guy to talk to, Mike. He's
I
the wrong
went-
guy.
You say that every day.
Yeah, that's true.
I went to
pop
see
culture.
a comic book movie with Chris Pratt. Is this the same one?
No, that's Thor. Oh my God! Is
No,
it
that's
even-
not. No, Liam Hemsworth is Thor.
Oh my! Yeah, I get it, but Thor is also in the Avengers.
And he's
Well,
got,
well,
Mike,
what's
his
the one
hammer
with-
is crazy.
What's the one with Chris Pratt? What was that? What's the one with Groot? What's the one with Groot? I saw that
that's
one.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, there you go. There's where I really get confused.
But
between,
that one was supposed to be sort of the anti-comic
Yeah, a
book,
lot of fun. That
comic
one's a
book
lot of
movie
fun.
because of the.
You're right.
It was programming to people like us.
I
Mike.
stand-
Avengers is the one with Halle Berry and
that's
and
X-Men. That's
and
X-Men.
Rebecca
That's
Romaine Stamos.
X-Men.
That's
you were
X-Men.
right when you said Chris Pratt, and you were right when you said I remember because I begged you to go see Guardians of the Galaxy because it was the anti-comic book movie. It was a lot of fun. It was
And I love the little weed at the end that talks. That
Hey,
was fun.
spoiler
that was
alert.
good.
Groot.
Yeah.
Groot. Me love Groot. And,
so-
and the Americans lap it up because he can't speak proper English and he's like speaking like a caveman. And because Americans, if there's one thing Americans crave in a movie, it's having someone dumber than them.
Well,
Yes.
I would say
Having
it's
someone
international
dumber.
because it was an international hit. You can't really just say it's Americans. Everybody liked it.
It finds its way to America, where Adam Sandler is a wonderful success.
All right.
That's
Very
just
Really?
easy,
Am I right?
easy to digest. I will say this, that if you don't know enough about the Avengers, and I'm lucky enough that I get an inside track as a Chad.
Try saying the Avengers.
The Avengers.
Better.
Not the Avengers?
The Avengers is what you were saying before.
The Avengers?
That's not good.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right out of the gate. You're picking on him already. That's incredible.
okay.
Well, no,
But,
I'm trying to help him.
I
what
never
we
heard
did.
the Avengers, though, on the trailers.
When it
The
starts with
Avengers.
when it starts with a vowel, you're supposed to use the. Is that right, Mike?
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Well,
That
yesterday we were
sounds
wrong.
weird.
Oscar was right about
That
script
sounds really
yesterday.
weird.
You know, and
I
my
had a-
father, he's on our side on that, Mike. He said, my father's quote this morning is, "Of course it's script. I don't believe the lookup."
That's funny.
Regardless,
That
the
is
movie
funny.
itself is a little complicated if you don't have a backstory. I enjoyed it, not as much as the original Avengers. I enjoyed it almost as much, but if I would have paid the $10 to go or $14, whatever
Right.
it was, I wouldn't have felt guilty about it. I got to go see. I got one of those premiere passes.
Uh-huh.
And
La la la.
when we went, I said, "Well, look, if it sucks, then I'm not out $14."
Did you get any popcorn on your cummerbund?
I did. If it's awesome, then I win. I thought it was pretty good. It was fun.
It was long, Mike. It was 2 hours and 21 minutes, not including previews.
I did.
And who plays the guy that runs the whole school?
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is the
John
leader.
Houseman, Mike.
Well,
No, I thought it was that guy that's in The Hobbit.
really,
No.
The Hobbit.
I'm trying to
confusing
really
me.
Samuel L.
incorporate
Jackson is a boss in it,
characters.
right?
Hey, he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America, I guess, runs the Avengers. See, it's
Oh no, it's
confusing.
that old English guy that played Dorf.
No, Dorf is Tom
I can't have
Conway.
this conversation.
I'm
Mike,
trying to just
you won't
patch
like
it all.
it. You won't like it.
No.
There's too much
I'd hate
going
it.
on. There is a lot of CGI.
A lot of CGI and a lot of fast action and a lot of plot and not a lot of story.
Good CGI in my eyes. There's bad CGI. That's the Transformers. This was good CGI.
I
don't
thought
know.
plot and story were one and the same, Rob.
Well, no, because I would say this. I would say story is something that you can wrap your head around and follow the story. The plot is what happens in this movie, and I was really not into it the whole time. But my biggest problem was I went to a new theater in the Dulles Town Center Mall, the Regal Cinema.
Okay.
That is the talk of
That's
the
an
town.
old mall. Is that it's a
But
brand
it's
new
a brand
theater?
new theater, a couple months old, and it's the talk of the town in Robert's circles of friends.
Now,
He said
why is it so popular?
they kept talking about the seats?
Sorry.
What was that?
You have this like effeminate motion when you talk that I just caught up on. It was killing me. It was killing me. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Oh my god! Oh my!
I picked it up from the effeminate way from which he dresses. This whole thing is like Victoria's Secret in here.
Boys. Do I have to fly up there a week early?
No,
for God's
no,
sake?
no. I just
What's going
I
on?
noticed that I
As a
couldn't.
matter of
I
fact, you
couldn't.
might want
I-
to cancel the whole thing.
I could not say anything.
Look, the way these cameras work, it's just like it would work if I was in the studio looking
Right.
away. I am looking right at Rob, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Oscar flapping his hand up and down, and I didn't know what it was either. We had to stop him, and then he said it's the effeminate.
You know,
way
it's
that
really
you
not. It's more
gesture.
like the Baron.
It's the talk of the town, Mike.
It's the talk of the town in Robert's school. I had to drive by
We are
two-
going to review the Avengers. We are going to review the Avengers right now. Right now,
I had to
everybody.
drive by two really nice movie theaters to get to this theater, to go there to see this movie tonight.
But I know the one. The
Then
one is that Alamo place. right?
Alamo
Yeah.
and also the Cobb Theater, which is
I've
by
heard of the Cobb.
Yeah, by Wegmans. Boo. I don't like that place. So
Well,
anyway,
what's the name of the theater that you're slamming?
The Regal. Now there was an old.
we have
Regal.
Regals. We have Regals
Yeah,
all
it's
the
a
way
chain.
down here.
There
Yeah,
was a
that's what
Regal
it
in Countryside, but this is the new Regal.
The new ones have special theaters.
and special seats. And that's what
Oh.
Robert kept talking about, the special seats. And I said, okay, let's go. So I went online to buy tickets. And because this is Age of Ultron, the seats that were available were in row 2 on the aisle.
Oh, you effed yourself. I
And
was
I
closer
said-
up to,
and-
I was closer up to the screen, and I was probably row 7.
Yeah.
And there was so much going on the screen
It's a headache.
that I got nauseous.
Yeah, and also because of the slight curvature of the screen, which I don't know if is a construction flaw or something that they're doing now.
Right.
When they would do close-ups of people, they looked like bad wax figures of the people. I
Oh,
think
so
that's
that-
why
so
I
it
think
sucked.
Hawkeye looked like Patton
I
Oswalt.
think the seating, if you were in the second row, that would ruin your entire experience.
Well, Robert said second row was okay because of the seats. I said, what is so great about these seats? He says they recline. And I said, huh, all right,
But you're still right in front of the screen.
let's give it a try. True enough.
Yeah, but he's on to something there. I want to hear about this because I certainly.
So
When I leave the studio, that's how I spend most of my day.
when we go to the theater, we go to our assigned seats, and the rows have so much space between them. You know how if you were to do a cross in front of someone in a seat in a normal movie theater, you have to like walk sideways and decide whether or not you're going to show them your ass or your other, and you just say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. This is like
Right.
an aisle.
Whoa,
right in front.
that's interesting.
So you sit down in our seats, and
By the way, the etiquette, since you brought it up, and I hate to interrupt you, but I
Right.
have to say this. The etiquette, by the way, is privacy forward. You don't put your ass in some, especially in a restaurant, you're in a crowded
Right.
restaurant, you don't move your ass across, like, you don't want your butt to hang over there. You pass them facing them. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Show them your junk, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, show them your
frontal.
penis.
So we get to our seats, and I say, Robert, these are really close to the screen. He says, doesn't matter. Your neck's not going to hurt because the seats recline.
the guy's a salesman.
And I said, okay. So I sit in this huge, almost like leather Barcalounger, and to the side there is a swing-out table that comes in front of you like a school. You remember the one-piece school desk
Yeah.
you would sit in?
I had those.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I had
this
those.
swings around, and it's got a drink holder in the armrest and a drink holder in the table. And right away, Robert's friend Sean spills half his popcorn, which was fantastic.
Is Robert still finding these friends that are just not quite with it?
No,
Is that what
no,
it is?
No, how dare you?
Well, no. I mean, I'm thinking about the days of Jabril, and
Yeah.
just spilling half the popcorn is just a.
Well,
movie.
what was so great is
How
after
much
the
motor
movie,
coordination is required?
after
for
the
Christ's sake?
movie, I said, Sean, too bad about your popcorn. He said, no, it's okay. Made it easy to find my seat when I went to the bathroom because it was just sitting in a pile
So
of
is
popcorn.
you and two young boys
Me
going
and
to
two
the
12-year-olds, right? And so I sat in the chair, swing the table around, and automatically Robert is fully horizontal. He is reclined
he's
all
happy.
the way, and
That's
we're looking
part
up
of
at
the
screen.
charm.
That's cool.
That's the way you want it. And you didn't want to go full horizontal with
Well,
your seat?
I had to figure out the button.
Yeah.
There's a button like on the
Is it
outside.
electronic or is it hydraulic?
It is an electric recliner.
High end.
Hydraulics. Yeah.
Although when I bought my ticket, they said, we have electrics and hydraulics. Hydraulics might be better for you. And,
That's painful.
not really. So,
No, but it's all I would care about. The only time I don't like a seat is when I go to a ball game, like the old sections of Fenway Park, where they were made for smaller people. That's a drag for me. I don't like that. And then you see people who are much larger than I am in these seats, and you don't. There was a person at Fenway Park when I went to a game with my brother-in-law. I do not know how physically he had actually gotten himself in the seat. It was that ridiculous. He had fat spilling off both sides and dripping down into the seat on either side.
I love when you see someone in an environment like that, and you notice that they have to go in with either their left or right hip first because they're going to be
'cause they
seated
have
at
to-
an angle,
Yeah,
and
they
they
have
want to
to
be seated
suction it in there.
towards
That's what they have to
home
do.
plate. So
Right, absolutely.
I finally figure out the button and I hit it, and right away my legs go up, and and I say, "Oh, this is not bad.
Yeah.
This is not bad." And I keep the button going, and then I go back, and all of a sudden I'm horizontal, and I'm looking up at the screen, and because of that, you don't have the neck crane issue that you normally would have in a second row seat.
Fair.
But you do have the fact that you're so close that they all look like they're melting. And the other problem was, Mike, is that afternoon I had just shaved my head with my Harry's, and so it was shiny and clean.
Oh, yeah. It's like you had a cell phone on the entire time.
Well, no, the problem yes, I was reflecting. No, the problem is that they're leather recliners, and my head kept sticking to the seat.
Ew! Oh God, nasty! Oh,
But I would say this,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Oh, sticky. And the other, while I'm reviewing the theater, one last thing. Please, for God's sake, some organization at your snack bar. It was a madhouse. They had here's the problem. They had like maybe 8 registers and 6 attendants. So everyone is working in no particular system.
Got it.
And people are coming in diagonally. And it was really
Seen
bad.
this happen before.
And Robert ordered, I think, hot pretzel bites. And the lady said, "Pretzel bites? You're going to have to pick that up."
Was she chewing gum?
Yes. Over at the hot
Right there. Any type of service industry, if you lose the gum,
Yes.
it ought to be forbidden from anybody that works in any food and beverage environment.
ASAP.
Does from theater to fine dining, gum goes. I never got it through to my.
You're gonna have to
people
go.
over there.
You're gonna have to go wait at the hot food pickup window.
They have a hot food pickup window.
And I said, if you are and my thought at this point is, if you have to send people to another location, you shouldn't be selling hot food.
Yeah.
You know what,
to
though?
Juji fruit and
And they
popcorn.
just heat it up.
That's
It's not
all.
hot food.
Yeah, but also hot food in movie theaters. I'm not all about it. I think that really the only hot food you should have is that nacho sauce. Nachos
Not
acceptable.
even that. No.
No,
popcorn.
nachos.
Popcorn
Not-
and candy.
No, nachos. You
nachos
go to
are
the back.
great.
You nachos are so much better than popcorn if you get them in the movie theater. They're fantastic, and they have the little hot jalapenos they put on them. It's
look at
fantastic, and
this.
it
You'd
takes
love it
5
here 'cause
seconds.
you got a table. You got a table for your nachos.
What do you mean? Look at this. Well, I was
I'm just
talking
saying,
about,
we're in your wheelhouse now. Tell us more.
Oh yeah, it's my wheelhouse. That's right. Yeah, Lardy McFatass is going to talk
Actually,
about nachos.
Mike, I would think nachos might be in Oscar's wheelhouse.
I
What
like
is the
nachos.
origin?
I like nachos. I enjoy them.
So, we go through this whole disaster, and also the thing is Robert asked if he and his friend could order themselves. And, the classic move of a 12-year-old freezing up when they have to order something. So that didn't go well.
No. Now, is this the friend again? Because I
No,
have
this
to
was
really
Robert. This was Robert. And you know what? He wanted to look cool in front of his. And you know what? The friend was good, and I'll tell you why. And you'll appreciate this. You've had
Okay.
a 12-year-old before. He came out to the car. He made eye contact with me. He said, "Nice to meet you, Mr. Spiewak." And he was talkative and engaging. He's a
And
polite, smart
you
kid.
hadn't met him before.
Never met him. Never
Oh,
met
good.
him.
No shyness. That is
Those
a
are
good
the
thing for a
scariest
12-year-old.
kids, though.
No, they're the best. They're the absolute
kids
best.
They're dealing weed behind your back.
Yeah, those are the kids that are slick. Those are good.
After the 25,
So basically, he gets him back of you in the back seat, probably sitting with Robin. He's like, "Very nice to meet you, Mr. Spiewak. Really looking forward to the film today." They get in the back, and he looks over at Robert, and he goes,
I don't understand what this even means, but when he said, Robert, your father's a tool. I said, I don't know.
I am pretty handy.
But after the 25-minute ordeal in the snack bar, I was approached by a nice fella, and I'll say hi to him. Listener Chris Pendleton spotted me.
Cool.
Came up. He said, "What are you here for?" I said, "Gonna see the Age of Ultron." He said, "Me too. I'm excited." I said, "Not me. It's in color."
Oh, man.
We'll come back, get a quick review from Oscar. He went to see the same movie, and we haven't heard anything about the movie at all, but Rob didn't like the theater.
Or the snack bar.
Or the snack bar. We'll take a break, come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey there, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Perkins.
Hi, I'm Gary Stein.
On our show this week, it's broadcasting icon Donnie Simpson. One of the clubs you belong to, you loved the fried chicken that the cook would fix for you. And then you had a situation where you brought some friends in.
Yeah, a couple brothers. Very exclusive club. It's Robert Trent Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Went inside to have lunch, and the waiter comes out, so he says, are you guys going to have the fried chicken? So they're cool, because it's, it's exclusive, and they're trying to be cool, and so they don't say anything, some take orders or whatever, and then we all went to the bathroom. I don't know why we did that. So as soon as we got out in the bathroom, so Donnie, man, what was up with the fried chicken?
The Tony Perkins Show.
That's fantastic.
Mike, the hour
gotta
and
be
a half-
listening to that one. I
The
really
hour and
do.
a half that they spend with Donnie Simpson is one of the most delightful hours on the radio.
So much
It's
fun.
So
Magical.
much fun.
I would say magical.
I
It
would
was
say
fun.
that, yeah.
Man, I tell you, it was a great move for us to get Tony Perkins on the network, and it's great to have that show on the network. And really, I have wanted to get Donnie on my show for a very long time. Donnie has not done interviews. Donnie did it because he's such a good friend of Tony's, and proud to have the Tony Perkins show on the More Network. I'm going to be listening to that this afternoon.
You'll love it.
That's incredible. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Blinds.com. I will tell you this. We are starting to enter a period in Florida where hot is, to use the word hot, really not even appropriate. It's ridiculously steamy down here and humid. I, in my own bedroom, got Blinds.com shades. They call them the honeycomb shades. They're very lightweight, and they're good for a really large area, and I use them to cover up a whole sliding glass door panel in my bedroom. And I will tell you something, with this heat, it is astonishing to me how good those Blinds.com shades are at cooling the room that we have down here. Now, I installed my own shutters in the kitchen before, and then I used a professional installer to put my shades up in the bedroom, and the customer service that I got with this company, the fact that this is a .com company where I called a number and dealt with some of the most friendly people I've ever dealt with before. They do it. They get it to you correctly. The size is right. I made a mistake on the measuring for my shutters, and they made that right as well. They're fantastic at Blinds.com. I want you to hurry over right now to Blinds.com, where you'll find great discounts all the time with your favorite brands and upgrades, and they're on sale. You got to see the value that's waiting for you. As always, get free color samples, free shipping, and free expert decorator advice, plus prices that crush store prices. Best of all, customer service that will make you smile. I mean that. I had it myself. Blinds.com is seen in my kitchen and now in my very cool bedroom where Mrs. O'Mara may be catching a little nappy poo
And she's
right
earned
now.
it.
Yeah,
Nap time.
This is the second time you said that. Is this because does Michael still nap at about this time every day?
We're getting it. It's springtime, summertime, and Mrs.
Fun
O'Mara
time,
and I.
nap time.
We do. It's fun time. We linger. We stayed up last night and we just look at Zillow, and we look at Zillow all the time. Not for houses we're ever going to have, but houses where we've lived before, and it's just fun. And I'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to get the legitimate review from superhero comic book action movie fan Oscar Santana, because Oscar, you love these movies, and if you don't like it, then people aren't going to like it.
$1 billion worldwide, gentlemen.
Okay, really didn't ask about the gross. Wanted to know
That's
your
the
review
whole
of the movie.
Lawrence Welk argument where, my grandmother used to say, he makes a lot of money.
No, I'll say that there is a built-in audience for it. You don't get to $1 billion that easy, and then especially within 3 weeks, you just don't do that. I like I said, I enjoyed it, not as much as the original Avengers because there was just a little too much going on. But the premise is set where Tony Stark tries to basically automate the safety of the world by building.
What's his name? Jargon?
Jarvis.
Jarvis,
Yes.
his assistant, his
Yeah,
electronic
he's
assistant.
Jargon.
Might as well be.
Let's play some Jenga later. So he tries to build an kind of artificial intelligence, and it goes wrong.
This is where This is where Tony Stark messes up.
It goes wrong, and now the Avengers have to stop Ultron. And there are some twists, there's some turns. I actually, even though I was closer to the screen, I didn't think the CGI. I thought the CGI was pretty damn good for what they were offering.
You know what? They used it sparingly. Yeah. It's obvious when they're using it, but they did a good job. The special effects are good. But Mike, it is so pat. It's action scene, plot, one-liner, action scene, plot,
I don't know what else
one-liner.
you expect from these movies.
I want a better story. I just want a better story.
You're not going to get it. I mean, the reason you like old movies and I like old movies, and Oscar likes some old movies too. The fact is, it's
the Goonies.
For
but Mike, the original Goonies, whatever that means.
I don't know. It's a generational thing, I guess. I mean, technically.
Oh, it might be an international thing.
I don't know. Oscar's really not old enough to be my kid, not quite, but I mean, not young enough to be my kid. But the fact is that God, the crap you like.
Oh, he loves
Mike.
When he saw it, it was called El Goonies. And he saw it in the home country.
But you saw it when you were a child. So, I mean, I remember that. And, it's John Matuzak, the late John Matuzak, Rocky Road. The late Ann Ramsey is in that movie. And and you liked it. I'll tell you why you liked it.
Is dead, right? One of the
Corey Haim is no longer with us. The reason you liked it is I think is the reason adults didn't like it. Where I watched Goonies, but the Goonies was this freeform, let the kids go wild on camera movie, and you liked it because that was the reason. Because the kids were so out of control. If you go watch the Goonies, which is
watched it, I would say 2 months ago.
All right, so it's a classic old movie. Yeah. You'll notice the kids are talking over each other, they're screaming, they're yelling, and it really is. It's really different than movies before that had kids. The Goonies was a transformative movie, I think.
Although, have you ever seen? Of course not. Relax for a second. Okay. Like, there is a Little Rascals short called Mama's Little Pirate, which is essentially the Goonies in 18 minutes. No, it's true.
A Little Rascals short?
Yeah, and you should watch it.
When did they play shorts?
What
decade?
The 30s, 40s, and 50s.
How are we supposed to know about that?
Because they were on something called television. Do you have one of those?
God.
Yeah, okay. But watch Mama's Little Pirate, and you'll be surprised at all that. I think even Spielberg said that was the
Mama's Little Pirate was a Vivid release, wasn't it?
Oh, that was Mama's Big Pirate.
It was Mama's Little Pirate. It was dwarf porn.
Oh, the best kind.
Is what it was.
And that was also a transformative movie, Mike.
I'm sorry, little person porn. Sorry.
No, I think dwarves is still acceptable.
I don't think so.
It's the M word they don't like.
No, I think dwarves is now.
We've been down this road many a times. You don't want to let it go.
All right.
Dwarves is not acceptable. They don't want to be called dwarves anymore.
They.
Dwarves don't want to be called dwarves anymore.
I know. All right. And Mike, why do we even see height? It's silly, isn't it? But while it's coming up,
what is the best serious movie you've ever seen, Oscar? What, in your opinion,
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
And that's a movie.
I'm not sure he's ever seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, every bit. I've seen it probably at least 30 times.
All right, I'll ask you a trivia question about Shawshank Redemption. There is a young punk that comes into the prison that has Elvis sideburns, and Andy Dufresne tries to get his high school equivalency test.
Yes.
He tries to get him to pass it. What happens to that guy?
Well, he had to escape from Alcatraz, so because he couldn't get out of that prison, it just didn't work out for him. Right? Nothing?
He hasn't watched
I'm just busting balls.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, Andy, actually, if I'm not mistaken, that was the guy who tried to free Andy Dufresne because he had an alibi for the murder, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And do you remember what happens?
He doesn't pass. The guy, doesn't the warden stop him? Something happens, the warden stops him from doing something. I remember he didn't let him have it.
It's a big deal. The warden, he's shot. The warden has him shot. Remember, he has to go. Would you swear to that in a court of law? You got to remember, I know every line in the show. I mean, it's just
you watch it every time it's on TNT, don't you?
No, when I had who did I have down here?
Because Andy had given up on ever leaving, and then this guy comes in, befriends him, and says, "Hey, you're not the guy that did this." So he had an alibi, and the warden has him shot as he's walking out.
As
right?
he gets him a secret part of the prison, and then his henchman shoots him with a high-powered rifle, and it's a horrible scene. I don't think Andy Dufresne had given up based on the amount of time it took him to dig that hole in the wall. I think the whole time Andy Dufresne was in there, he's probably when he got the gig.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then again, maybe when he started tunneling is after he gets the gig with the warden.
But don't you think that the whole theme of the movie is to never give up hope? I mean, if you really get it down, I don't think he ever does. I think he gets discouraged, but he never gives up hope. Because he's still always got his eye on the prize.
And he always had the posters would change as the decades would go by.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to watch it again.
I have read in certain circles that movie gets crap, that they said it's kind of an oversimplified version of things, and
crap in that pipe.
What I read is that it was really overlooked in theaters, and the fact that TNT showed it 3 times a week for 20 years is the reason that it's gained its popularity. Is that the people saw it on television. And before we move on, Mike, I would be remiss as a co-host if I didn't ask you to tell the story of meeting Scott, the little person, his spouse, at the Christmas party for WJFK. It's one of my favorite stories. Yeah. It's great. It's a Christmas story that's a wonderful story.
We called him, and I'm sorry for the political incorrectness.
He asked us to call him
Things have changed. Yeah.
So he asked us to call him Scott the Dwarf, and that was his name on the show. And Scott was a good friend, and still is a good friend. I haven't seen him in years, and really, really nice guy. Very, very funny. I mean, a guy to go out with and party with, one of the funniest, and really great sense of humor, and a great musician, too.
Yes.
A guy that had a band, the Little Kings, that toured for a long, long time and did a great job with that.
He's in the movie Zoolander.
And he's in Zoolander, and he's really just a good guy. I like Scott quite a bit. And Scott married another little person, and we
Annette was her name.
Her name was Annette, and we had one Christmas party, and I was probably pre-gaming at
Mike
that Christmas
got to the party
party
early.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I made this mistake. It had nothing to do. I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be inappropriate. And so when Scott, I went over to a large group that Scott was talking with, and he was there with his wife, and very loudly, and probably like 5 or 6 people in this little semicircle, and I walked over, Scott, top of my lungs, Mr. Gregarious, here's Mike. Mike's at the party. Scott, it's time for you to introduce me to the little lady. And collectively, I felt like the entire room stopped and kind of looked at me at that moment.
Oh, God, the best.
That's sweet, though.
And I said, I'm so very, very sorry. And then she flipped me off and ran to the car crying.
That's okay.
No, didn't go down like that. We'll take a break, and when we come back, I want to talk about a trip down memory lane thanks to some modern technology that I used last night. Feeling very nostalgic with Letterman's last week and all that, and got kind of caught up in it last night. And it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you about that when I come back.
We saw your name and number on the wall.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. FanDuel is changing the way people play fantasy baseball, and they're making it more fun and more exciting than ever. That's because FanDuel.com is the leader in one-day fantasy sports leagues. Immediate cash payouts and entry fees that start at just $1. There is no season-long commitment. There is no upfront fee. Last week, James S., he's a new one, from Columbus, Texas, he turned $3 into $10,000 in one day. Wow. Yowza!
Nice.
FanDuel's fantastic. If you're somebody that has a team from New England that maybe is sucking ass, sorry, I know they don't like me to use that language for FanDuel, but you'd like to make the baseball season interesting as your team falls into the pit of oblivion, FanDuel is the way to do it because you got something at stake and you can do it every single night.
Every night.
You can play today, win tonight. They're handing out over $2.5 million every single day this MLB season. And don't forget, FanDuel has great fantasy action also for the NHL and NBA playoff games, too. Let's go, Caps.
Yeah.
Just go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code TMOS, and sign up today. Special offer for new users. For every $1 you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200 that gets earned as you play. That's a bonus of up to $200. The offer is only good for the first 50 people that use the code TMOS. Just remember to enter TMOS at FanDuel.com, where every day is a brand new season. So, last night, binging a little bit on Letterman, trying to catch up on all the different things that he's doing.
Are you caught up through last night?
No, I don't watch all of it. It's real hard for me to hang with Ray Romano on any level as a talk show guest. But Martin Short to me was brings it.
Really
he's bringing on Oscar. The cool thing about this is that he's bringing on all the guests that brought their A game to be guests on the show, and
Martin
so
Short
everybody
still has great. I like him. I like seeing him on shows.
Martin Short,
wonderful.
I don't think there's anything he does. Outside of his previous movies, where he comes on one of these talk shows now and does just a fantastic job.
He's never really made a good movie.
Interspace.
On talk
How
shows,
dare you?
Well, and there's the fans of Three Amigos as well.
Oh my God, yes.
But,
how dare I?
He is
Totally
really
forgot.
his milieu, Mike, is the talk show. That's
or
where
sketch comedy or doing sketches.
Comedy, yeah.
And the thing is, he comes on a show and brings the A game in totality, and is just a naturally funny guy, and it's a lot of fun to watch him. He really is. And Martin Short is somebody who I have a lot of respect for, and so does Letterman. So Letterman's bringing on all these people, and then he's bringing in these musical guests that are doing these poignant, beautiful songs that were particularly special to David Letterman, and I think the whole thing is a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying watching Letterman, and I get a little nostalgic. This is a weird way, and I think this is why I did what I did last night. Carla and I get on Zillow, and
you know what? I kind of know what it is because you talk about it, but can you give us a thumbnail of what Zillow is? Because when you talk about you spent the night with Zillow, it sounds like you're hanging with a neighbor.
It is a real estate website, and
Okay.
one of the things
On the
Carla
internet.
and I did down here is when we moved down here, we realized that probably in 5 to 6 years, for schools and neighborhoods that are kid friendly a little bit, and we may have to relocate down here in Florida, and so we're always looking and kind of getting the lay of the land. My feeling on real estate is that if you start really, really early, you can have an idea of places that might present an opportunity.
Sure.
So that's the way
prepare.
we do it. And at the same time, Zillow is, to me, electronic peeping Tom. You can look at a house, you can look at your neighbor's house, and
EPT, Mike.
you can find out exactly what they paid for it. You can exactly when it was on the market, whether it went to foreclosure. All this information is there. So as far as real estate goes, it's pretty good. We should get them as an advertiser, I think.
What happened, and what was the line of thought when Manassas looked like an opportunity?
Manassas was simply the location trumped for me.
Yes.
The methodical. I have never been tremendously successful in the choices I've made financially. I haven't. I mean, it's just the fact is that
I'm not
I bought the house in Manassas. Well, I mean, your question was sort of leading that way.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that it was something where I got burned, like so many people that got burned.
But you were
bought
close
houses
to your
that-
restaurant. That's why, right?
If you own a failing restaurant, contact us at foodnetwork.com.
That's not the house I was looking at, but since we have sold it,
Yes.
we have been you peek at it now.
Oh, okay.
Because on Zillow you can see what's called the Zestimate, which is based on.
Hi.
You've never looked at this. You've
No,
never looked at
no.
You don't look at houses at all or anything
No,
like that.
not really,
Right?
no.
You're dug in.
Yeah.
You'll
I don't
live
wanna
there.
move- I don't wanna
You're
move
going
my
to die
rest-
in that house that you're
Yeah,
in
and
right
probably
now.
within weeks. So if you can save the date, that would be great. Because I'd like to apologize. It's really not a great era for this to happen. You're probably going to be a pallbearer. I would guess get on the left side of the casket. I'm just guessing. So, yeah, my apologies.
You're in my will, actually. You're
What?
in my will. Yeah, I put you down as a speaker. I put you down as because I liked your eulogy at your Big Daddy's funeral.
Oh, that's but no cash then.
No cash.
He was
We're not-
excited for a little while.
I know you're
was.
not going to get an advance payment. You're not going to do that.
Well,
What a
Mike,
dick.
I'm honored. And you know what? Carrie
Thank
knows,
you, LegalZoom. I did it with LegalZoom.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, Andrew.
Carrie knows that you would be the one to speak at mine, and Oscar, you would be offering the counterpoint.
I'd love to. I'll be in.
Oscar and I will bring it. I'll give Oscar. I'll write one sentence like shtick for Oscar, and we'll get up there and do it together.
I'd like that. I think that'd be fun. Bring your
That'd be
instant
a-
replay.
I look at Zillow and Redfin, both great websites for real estate. I do that all the time.
It's
I
fun.
like to see
It's just fun.
And anytime I think of possibly moving anywhere in this area, I automatically run right over to Phoenix and say, okay, if for that money I could buy this in Phoenix.
Here's the great thing about Zillow. They map everything, and if you zoom in close enough, you get aerial photographs of the neighborhood with the prices on top of there, and you can see what the houses sold for, even if they're not on the market, which is just amazing to know that. So you know the people that are trying to get rich quick. You know the people that are probably trying to get out of a very difficult situation. You never know what the individual circumstances really are, but from the numbers standpoint, you can take a look at that and find out what's going on.
Oscar, I have done the thing where you see what your current property is worth and then see what it would get you in other areas.
Oh, look at you.
And it's staggering the way the prices are in the D.C. area. It's mind-boggling.
We look around. Yesterday we drove around, and this is not anything that is imminent. We're not trying to do that, but the fact is we know that we need to learn about this South Florida area if we are going to do that. So we occasionally just drive around, and we on a lark went into one of these neighborhoods where they poop out like 7,000 homes, and then they sell them to you. And there's a formula
like
here.
Michael at the restaurant.
Here's the formula. Yeah, exactly. Same feeling too that I had leaving the development. So we go into this development, and here's how it works. They show you a price list.
Okay.
With all the base prices for these homes. Then they have models next to a sales center, and everybody that's ever looked for new homes knows what I'm talking about. Then there are these beautifully tricked out models that are next to a sales center
with every option built in,
every bell and whistle humanly possible put in there. And then they say, well, what were those options if you got everything? I always ask that, and they hate to tell you.
Of course,
they hate to tell you, because in many cases it can approach at least half of the base purchase price of the house. It's ridiculous. Yes,
I always felt that experience because I've done it myself multiple times when I was younger with my dad. And as I got older and I got a little wiser to the world, I said these model homes are like if you walked into a strip club and you wanted to go into the champagne room, right?
Exactly. Yep. Same principle. No difference whatsoever. It is a designed process to separate you from your money and do it in a sneaky way. Yeah. Period. If it wasn't designed to do it in a sneaky way, they would say this house costs this much. But if they did that, they would scare people away.
It says starting at $300,000, and then you get in, they go, this house is $750,000.
$750,000.
Same thing in car commercials when they show all the options on the new Lexus, and they say, and this Lexus starts at $19,200. But that has automatic transmission and no glove.
And it's the world we live in here. It's the way they do it.
At least these car commercials, and when they have print ads, at the bottom, small print, but they'll show you how much it costs to walk away with the car you see in that commercial.
Yeah, but if you have a car, why are you walking?
You know what I mean.
Now, so you go in and you see these prices, and you say, well, that's the price for that house. Well, then they don't tell you what the options are. They list the options that are available, and then what they also don't tell you, and I know this from experience of 10 years ago, they will take you into the back and say, okay, now this is one of our nicer lots, and they will charge you a premium price for the land. So it's not just the house.
Maybe
it's the house,
corner lot, maybe something with access to a
it's the little 12 square feet of land that they're going to put this postage stamp on, and they will do that. So by the time we went through, I had no skin in the game, so it was just kind of looking at. We actually looked for ideas on remodeling and what we can do with molding and things like that in this house. But it really got me down. And another thing they do is within this tiny little community, they will take the nice houses and they will put, it's only 12 football fields of houses, but they'll put the nice ones over here and the small ones over here. You know what I mean? And so it's the whole. And Carla says
that
to
way,
me,
Mike, they can corral you that way.
It's
like forced perspective. What are those little things? Well, they're miles away. You don't know those.
As we are driving away, Carla says something along the lines of, "You're beginning to really spiral." And I start going into this whole like socialist rant
pounding your fist
about haves and have-nots and what's wrong
in your SUV.
I do. I go into this whole big rant about it, and yes, I am a complicated hypocrite, Oscar. I know that I am.
love you for that.
But the fact is, I really got ramped up about it, and it continued into the evening where I'm looking at these different houses. And suddenly,
I can see this slow burn happening like a factory burning down.
I'm just going.
It was just a spark. One cigarette was dropped.
BS.
Oscar.
That's when I run.
That's right. Run the other way.
It's such BS, and it's such this. We came off the recession where we had this massive bubble of real estate, and I got news for you: people are doing the same crap again.
Yeah.
They're going right back to it. Yeah, maybe the banks are a little tighter on people with loans and stuff, but I see that happening again because I think people are overextending themselves. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that.
I don't see a lot of it in my neighborhood because my neighborhood is about 10 or 12 years old. But,
right.
Mike, if I go across 15 to Raspberry Falls and I visit some of the people in Raspberry Falls.
The other side of the tracks.
Let me offer this to the people of Raspberry Falls. You really have to be in a unique situation before you need a house that has 2 staircases. You really don't need it. Everyone can share the same steps to go to the bedroom, and you see a lot of it. Also, do you need the foyer that really can handle the 12-foot round table? Do you need that? Isn't that space better used
not
somewhere
about
else?
need.
It's not about need.
It is, and it's keeping up with the guy next door.
Absolutely.
It's a different perspective. I mean, I don't know. In my eyes, if you want to live outside of the city and that's what you want and that's what you work for, then that's awesome.
And I agree with that.
And you're talking to a guy.
Even with my socialist rant, I agree.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy who lives in a little condo, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, I could hypothetically move.
5-foot ceilings, Mike.
I could move. I could probably buy a bigger home. I just don't want that pressure on my shoulders of, oh my God, what if something happens?
And you
it's
don't.
curtains.
And you know what? You don't need it.
Not
yet.
right now.
You're not a married guy.
Even
you
if we
don't
have a kid, that closet. Let me tell you.
Oh,
well,
boy.
you know what?
But eventually the kid has to come out of the closet.
Yeah, he will.
I'm somebody who downsized when I came down here, and I have this. I've always felt like almost apologetic when I bring people down here. I say, "Yeah, welcome to my 1,700 square foot home down here." And so I'm looking on Zillow last night, and I decide to put in my address in there. And so
your current address or your
my childhood address.
Oh, where you grew up
from
in Connecticut.
Just on a whim. I said, I'll just do that. I have no idea. Maybe because of the whole Letterman nostalgia thing, I decided to do that. So I put it in there. Now, first of all, the aerial photographs they have of this house, you can't see because I grew up in the woods.
Okay.
And so the trees are so thick you can't see that. So I Zillow this, and I was stunned because I realized that I grew up in a very small house, and my house was not much bigger than the one I have down here, and and they crammed 4 bedrooms into it,
yep.
and
4 tiny bedrooms,
4 tiny little bedrooms, and I realized that was fine, and then I got to
how many
thinking
bathrooms?
about.
I'm curious.
Let me see. I think that our bathrooms were we had 1. Downstairs, 1 upstairs, and then a small one in the basement.
Okay,
that
all
they
right.
had. So we had 2.5 baths, plenty of places to poo.
Good.
When you really, when you had company over at the holidays, you could go downstairs where the spiders were, and you could poo down there. So that was that's the way we did that. And the thing about it is, I started going around my town and my neighborhood, and I looked at all these little places.
Quite
and
a
I go
spiral.
further out and further out and further out, and I'm looking, and there are the Richie Rich houses. Sometimes you would bump into those, but overall, I remember that I thought all my friends had nice houses. I really thought that they all did, and I think a lot of kids grew up like this, where everybody kind of had the same deal going, and it felt really, really cool. And only when I got down to Northern Virginia did I get this feeling of kind of keeping up with the Joneses.
With adulthood as well. When you're a kid,
that changes with adulthood.
Yeah,
it does change with adulthood.
I would say when I was a kid, I grew up in first Silver Spring in an apartment, right?
Okay.
And all my friends, I just thought everybody lived in an apartment. We'd all go to a public pool and have a good time.
That's what people did.
And then we moved to the townhouse, like you have now.
Right.
And it's all my friends were in townhouses. And if somebody had a house, that was even better because they had a yard to play in the back,
Sure.
right?
Right, right, exactly.
But when you get older, that's when it changes. When you're really your social circle and your friends start buying homes, they start moving, they start getting luxury vehicles. And I think that's just natural. That's what happens. And
it's what happens, but it made me feel.
The problem is
it made me feel amazingly nostalgic for a time when, everybody that my parents hung out with had houses that were the same size, and everybody lived in those, those little capes in New England that had, 2,000 square feet and 4 bedrooms jammed into them. And the fact is, it was fine. It was great. I felt like I had a great childhood, and I just think I never got the sense. I want what they want, and you're probably right. It's childhood. It was a feeling of nostalgia, but I don't know what my point is, but I
think it is that I think we've changed. Our outlook has changed, and there is a greediness, whether or not people want to grab wrap their head around it. And also, you said it before when I talked about those big houses. It's not what you need; it's what you can get. And it's trying to just make things better. Well, how much better are things if you really have areas in your house that you don't go to?
Yeah,
that's one way of looking at it.
You would love your own jukebox room if you could afford it.
Okay,
you would.
All right, give me 400
Oscar
more
is always the defender of capitalism
more
on
square
this
feet,
show.
okay?
That's
I don't
what
begrudge
about your
anybody
own
that.
record room?
I've got that. I've got them. I've got
It's your garage.
I've got it. I don't need it.
Then you could actually park your car in the garage.
I don't need to park my car in the garage. I'm fine. I'm fine. And you know what? So many
I do,
people
because the poop water gets on it every night.
PW, Mike.
Yes,
so many people would be fine with less, and I don't begrudge people going out and buying what they can afford and what makes them feel good. But you're right. The first house my folks lived in was a Sears pre-cut house from the 1920s. And that was literally Sears would drop off the lumber and people would build a house. And that's what they did. I went back one time before it was knocked down, and I couldn't believe that not only 3 people lived there, but they used to have people over. They would sit shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. And it's just the way it was.
It's the way it was. And my grandparents' house was the same way. And simpler days, a simpler time.
Also,
feeling nostalgic. That's what it was all about.
Think about this, Mike, when you were growing up, and if you grew up here in the city or any real metropolis, that let's say top 10 markets in the city, right?
Okay.
When you grow up like really closer to the city, most of the homes that are built have been built.
Yeah.
So there isn't this
real estate boom.
There isn't this real estate boom, but there also aren't these options for these mega mansions.
Right.
Because they're just built already. This is the land you have, and these are the choices you have.
So it is kind of a new phenomenon, though, isn't it? A little
bit
as
we go out. You know, I've said it before. When my grandfather proposed to my grandmother, they said, "We're going to live in McLean." She says, "Who lives in McLean? Cows live in McLean." I mean, it was that far out then. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and if you build a 60,000 square foot home, I think you ought to be beaten with a stick.
Good
That's
point.
just my last point on that. We will take a break and come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi, this is a random listener, and I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about Rob Spiewak's bag. Rob loves a lot of things, but what he loves more than anything is having listeners fill up his bag week after week with wonderful messages. Would you be a sweetie and drop Rob a message for his bag? Send it right along to rob@mikeomarashow.com. Don't forget the 2 B's. Then every Wednesday, who knows, Rob might reach into his bag and pluck out a message from Y-O-U. Please, help Rob with his bag. I've been drinking a lot tonight.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Do we have a name on that list?
Chris Razor. He's helped us out
Chris.
before. Good job, Chris.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Vistaprint. I've got mine right here, ladies and gentlemen. I keep it handy just in case somebody breaks in as I'm doing the show. There's my Vistaprint card. I'll hand them a card and say, go on your way.
Burgle me later.
No, if somebody broke into my house, I would be very nice to them, like the Panda Bear's uncle in Zen shorts.
Oh, that
book that my son makes me
book.
read every day, you bastard. Anyway, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Small business owners, you'll love Vistaprint. You can get 500 business cards for just $9.99 when you enter promo code TMOS at checkout. $9.99 for 500 business cards. This is the best deal out there. It's so easy to make great-looking cards. Pick from tons of industry-specific designs. Add your info, and you're done. That's it. Or you can upload your own photo or artwork or pictures. We've all made cards at Vistaprint, and they always turn out great. I hand out my TMOS cards constantly. I love doing it. It's old school and it's fun. If you want to go all out, upgrade to their signature stock, add a fancy finish, or even raise print like I did. Vistaprint also has everything from marketing materials like custom flyers, banners, custom apparel, and all of it is 100% guaranteed. 500 business cards on sale, $9.99. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code TMOS to get this incredible offer, people.
News.
Fox's biggest cancellation was American Idol, even though technically there's still going to be one more season. So everybody's talking about that. We all remember when everybody was talking about American Idol.
Deal. It was.
The canceled shows that won't be back on Fox next season include Backstrom, The Following, Glee. Glee is gone. Grace Point, Mulaney, Red Band Society, Utopia, and Weird Loners. Where do these shows come from? There's a reason they're canceled. I've never heard of them.
I watched every episode of Mulaney because he's one of the funniest stand-ups out there, and it was remarkable at how bad his comedy went to a sitcom. I watched it just because it was that bad.
I read that the Mindy Project was also getting canceled.
It is. It's out of here.
It is.
And,
a show called Hieroglyph was dumped without even a single episode airing, and the Mindy Project was also axed, although there's talk of it possibly moving to Hulu.
Oh, I'm there.
Because they're at 63 episodes, then maybe they have to get to 100 for syndication.
100 for syndication, yeah. Although, you know what? If they have a life on Hulu, that's like replacing syndication now.
I would watch it there, though.
Oh, I would, too. I love that show.
Good.
The shows that Fox renewed include Bob's Burgers.
Boo!
Anybody?
I hate it.
Really?
Kids
Terrible
love it.
show?
It's the only show that they watch that makes me leave the room.
You'll be happy about this. Bones got renewed. Got renewed.
Wow. Watch the sexual tension get even smaller.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Has anybody watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
It's an okay show.
That's the Andy Samberg show? Yeah.
Empire, Family Guy, Gotham, Hell's Kitchen, The Last Man on Earth, MasterChef Junior, New Girl, The Simpsons, Sleepy Hollow. The Simpsons. It's even funny to mention
I
that
know.
about being renewed. Sleepy Hollow and World's Funniest Fails. There's a show I'd look in on.
Do you ever watch MasterChef Junior?
No, I don't.
I love to watch the kids cry.
Really?
Yeah.
You're such a sweetheart of a guy. You really are.
These are the worst looking sunny side up eggs I've ever seen.
And Gordon comes on it?
He does, but you know what? He'll be mean a little bit, and then he'll be nice to them, which is kind of sweet. But I like watching kids being put through their paces.
Sorry I made you sob. Now get out of my effing kitchen. Miles Teller and his girlfriend were at the beach in Miami over the weekend. Now, I like Miles Teller because he was in that drumming movie that I like so bad that Cappy told me about. Well, Miles Teller sprang into action. He saw a pregnant woman in the water struggling with a young child, and he helped them to shore, and he took a few minutes to make sure they were okay. Several websites are reporting that the woman and her child were caught in a riptide, but according to a post from Teller's girlfriend, the woman may have panicked because she thought she saw a shark.
Really? Did you see the video of the rescue when he got him on the beach, and he actually went up to the kid and he said, were you swimming ahead of the tide or behind the tide? Ahead of the tide or behind the tide?
Teller plays Mr. Fantastic in the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot.
Stars Rising.
And he was also in that movie Whiplash that I liked a whole bunch. So.
Mike O'Mara is Mr. Fantastic every day.
Thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate that. Back at you.
Getting deep in here.
It is.
Pro golfer Sophie Gustafson has a pretty severe stutter, and she's been mentoring a high school boy named Dylan who also stutters. He's also a huge fan of Tiger Woods. Last month, Dylan's mom emailed her to let her know Dylan attempted suicide by jumping out of his bedroom window after a particularly tough day with bullies. Bastards. God, that pisses me off. I'd love to be there for a kid that gets crap for that. Luckily, his parents stopped him before he jumped. Dylan's mom asked Sophie if she could get Tiger to write Dylan with some words of encouragement. Well, Tiger did it, and he got the word, and he wrote to Dylan. We don't know what he said, but it worked. Sophie tweeted, quote, "Thanks so much, Tiger, for sending my friend Dylan a letter. He's so happy. It's being framed and hanged. #class."
That is
she
class.
added that he's been doing better since then. Quote, "Small steps, but he really appreciates all the support that's been shown for him." That's the power of celebrity right there, and the power of a sports superstar.
Using it right.
Yeah,
Done right.
Very good. Here's something we all care about. Olive Garden, famous for their breadsticks. They may not be the most delicious thing in the world, but that's not the point. The point is everything tastes better when it's unlimited.
That's right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to hit the timpani. Olive Garden has just announced they're upping their game next month. They're going to start making breadstick sandwiches. Yeah. Starting June 1st, you'll be able to get a chicken parm, of course, a chicken parm, or a meatball sandwich that uses breadsticks as the roll. They'll only be available during lunch. Oh, yes, of course.
Well, then, let's hurry up and finish up the show.
If you're ordering that at dinner, that would be fun. I want a chicken parm on a breadstick sandwich roll. Thank you. And I want it for dinner, and I want it now.
I've had breadstick sandwiches there for years, but what I do is I take 2 breadsticks and put them around another breadstick.
There you
That's
go.
my
Bread
breadstick sandwich.
They'll cost $6.99 for the meatball, $7.99 for the chicken parm. The bad news is that the sandwiches aren't unlimited. You only get one. The good news, do you know what the sandwiches are coming with?
What?
Unlimited breadsticks.
Oh, God.
Carbs.
Yeah, baby. Fantastic. Good for you. Rearrange your schedule today. You might want to take advantage of this.
Okay.
I might bring the boy up to the mall for this. You can swing by any Haagen-Dazs shop in the United States Tuesday, May 12th, that's today, from 4 till 8 p.m. to claim a complimentary scoop of ice cream, which comes in either a cup, a sugar cone, or a cake cone.
Look at that. There's one right down the street here.
Take advantage. Since Free Cone Day at Ben & Jerry's in Carvel just happened, this might be the grand finale of the season's great spring tradition of free cones. Make the most of it. So you heard it here if you get to take advantage of that. And let me know if you took advantage. I just gave him a free ad.
You know what? I think there'll be a lot of upselling because I'm not really on board with one scoop.
I think we all know that's pretty obvious. Yeah. All right. I can't think of anything that could possibly go wrong here.
Might as well wear a button that says it. Hey, fat guy coming.
Lindsay, though. Sir, yeah, Rob goes into the ice cream. Would you like one scoop or 2? And you're like, come again?
What's 2
anyway,
plus 1?
My kid's in the car. Can I have his scoop?
I got a bus of kids.
Lindsay Lohan is going to spend the next 2 weeks working with children.
No, it's
Isn't
bad
that
for the
beautiful?
children.
Yeah, she's 115 hours short of her community service, and she has until May 28th to finish. So today, she'll begin working at the Duffield Children's Center in Brooklyn. I bet that's a madhouse there today.
Yeah.
She'll do arts and crafts, help kids with their reading, and do administrative work. She's worked there before, and they say they're happy to have her back, so it must have gone well. Hi, kids.
This is the best
like
way to,
my body?
This is the best way to clean a syringe.
There you go. Okay. Hey, who's got the bananas? We're going to show how to put it on a condom. There we go.
Oh, God.
Lindsay.
Unfortunately, Lindsay will basically have to work a full day every day from now till the 28th in order to get the required hours. Prosecutors say if she fails, they will recommend jail time. And
well, she doesn't have a history of failure, Mike. She'll be fine.
A little something. 26-year-old Stephanie Miller of Midlothian, Illinois, was out drinking a few weeks ago with her boyfriend, Matthew Slattery. She got kicked out of a bar when she got too belligerent. Oh, that's nothing like a belligerent drunk woman, is there? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you marry them.
There you go. So they went across the street to a Mexican place called El Burrito Loco.
The crazy burrito.
Nice.
To have some food and sober up. Well, it's an appropriate name. When they got there, Stephanie asked Matthew to take her to the bathroom, started stripping once they were inside, and told him she wanted to have sex right there, right now.
Oh, dear.
Whoa.
He said no and did what he was there to do. He started peeing, and she was so mad that he turned her down that she slammed his head into the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, hurt him badly. She was arrested for domestic battery. So I guess in more than one way he didn't get his taco. There you go. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. We'll take a break and come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak. You are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show and my impression of Alan Calte.
Do you talk C++?
Nice.
Do I? Can you telnet into port 25 and fake an email?
Can I?
Do you like to surf the backplane of a router?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever hex edited your way to a registered version?
Sounds sexy.
We're not going to be talking about any of those things, but what will we be talking about, Oscar?
It's technology and the way it affects your life.
And we're going to be combining a lot of entertainment. It's going to be a good time. This is not your father's tech show.
Oh, yeah. Tech 411 Show, available on the More Broadcasting Network and on iTunes.
That means it's good, so please check it out.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. I want to tell you about our bonus packages. This week on the Mike O'Mara Show bonus hour, Rob Spiewak has one of his famous, world-famous telemarketer run-ins. And
Been a
the
long
reason
time since I've done one.
And the reason we're putting it on the bonus show, did you use any bad words when you were on with this marketer?
It's saucy, Mike. It's saucy.
It's saucy. That's why you want to subscribe to the Mike O'Mara Show bonus package. Oscar Santana, what is the easiest way for people right now, if they're listening to my voice, to support the show by getting our Mike O'Mara Show bonus content?
MikeO'MaraShow.com. Click on bonus shows. The tab is right there on the front page, and you subscribe. You can either use a credit card or PayPal.
There you go. So check it out. It really helps our show. We would sincerely appreciate you supporting the Mike O'Mara Show bonus packages because that is a very important driving engine of this show. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for Tuesday, May 12, 2015. Rob Spiewak.
Mike, do you remember a long time ago there was a show called This Is Your Life, and they would play tapes of people that, were in someone's life and they had to identify them by their voice, right?
They'd sit there on a little stage and they, it's Ralph Edwards did an old show.
I'm going to play This Is Your Life with you today. I'm going to play a voice from your past, and I want you to identify this person, okay? Right. Play the tape.
Yo-ho!
Yo-ho.
One more time, please.
Yo-ho!
I have no earthly idea.
All right.
I don't even have a remote clue. Can you
then
give me
let's go to WCSH Channel 6 Portland's Bill Green and Bill Green's Maine. They did a feature on this lady.
Yo-ho! Daylight in the swamps, lumberjacks and lumberjills. It's time to roll out of the bunkhouse because we're going to start cutting some wood.
Timbertina!
Yes!
There you go.
She hails from a legendary lumberjack family in the little town of Hayworth, Wisconsin, the home of the World Lumberjack Championships. Tina and her siblings.
That's way too much of that.
Yo-ho!
But Mike, she comes from a legendary lumberjack family.
Did we stay through that entire show? I think I left early.
I think you did.
Yeah, I left early.
Yeah.
I think the Skeeters were coming out, and we got out of there a little bit early, and then Pony hung around and stayed late and boned her. No, Pony wasn't there. I'm sorry.
No, because he couldn't figure out how to buy a plane ticket.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, Mike, there is a website called Max TV, and they found a song called Unpublished Critics. It's from 1981 by a band called Australian Crawl. See if this sounds like another song that you might know. Sound a little bit like this.
Oh, wow.
Happens all the time now. In the age of the internet, they always get caught.
And also, check this out when they actually edited them together.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Pretty
busted.
Close.
Yeah,
Pretty
I think
close.
they can't defend that one.
No.
Australian Crawl says they're cool with it. So, whatever.
Well,
I don't know why they're
royalties.
not.
You mean that the Australian Crawl says Guns N' Roses are cool with it?
No, they said that they're cool with the fact that the songs sound so much alike. I imagine they're probably getting a check. Whether or not they're talking about it might be part of the deal. But it's the same song. I mean,
so
wow.
So who's going to get screwed here? How's it going to work?
What'll happen is that if they find that there is money to be paid, Guns N' Roses will owe it to the band in Australia because the Australian song came out in 1981. Sweet Child, I think, was 89. But Axl has already stuck to a very specific story about how they wrote the song, but that is a little too coincidental.
I've heard that story because they had on Behind the Music.
Exactly.
And they talk about how the riff came in, and they said, what's that riff? I hope that's the truth, and they didn't just hear this off some bootleg.
Me too, but we shall see what happens. But as it stands right now, Australian Crawl, the band, that's the name of the band, Australian Crawl.
Oh, wait a minute. So I was going in the opposite direction, being Mr. American. So you're saying Australian Crawl had it first?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way it stands
the Australian Crawl song is super old then.
Yeah, 1981.
Oh,
so
I
they
didn't
may.
even pay,
and
I wasn't
right
paying
now,
attention.
Australian Crawl is saying that they're cool with it and they're not going to press charges. But wouldn't it be funny if they had already gotten a check and they said that's why we're cool with it?
That's wild.
So we'll just see. The truth, as always, will come out.
Oh, interesting.
400,000 hits on YouTube, Mike. Do you know what it is? It's a montage of Michael Jackson grunting. Why is productivity in America down? I don't know.
A great ringtone.
I like to get that one sitting in the train station. You know, it's like, that is a great idea. Do you know how many people listening to this show are gonna do that right now?
They will.
They're gonna get that as their ringtone.
Yeah.
Remember when you sent me the text, Mike, and you said, "What does it sound like when a network anchor tries to get their highlights in without puking?" Well, I got your answer. This is the Major League Baseball Network's Heidi Watney. People were
Heidi Watney, a POA.
People were concerned that she was crying during her highlight reel, but it turned out she had flu and was trying to get through the highlights without puking. She made it, but this is what it sounded like.
The Pirates have now dropped 7 of their last 10 games, including 6 of 7 in May. The Cardinals have won 7 straight over the Pirates dating back to last season. Colton Wong is hitting .591 with 8 RBIs over his last 6 games. Out to the Bronx for Yankees and Orioles.
She did not throw up.
Oh my God!
She made it.
Yeah,
boy. I mean,
did even hotter now. She's even hotter in my eyes.
She's
Did you see? Are you looking at a picture of Heidi Watney?
Yeah.
She was the sideline reporter for the Red Sox, man. And when they lost her, it was like a sad day. A very, very sad day.
I want to see it.
Boom, bam.
Yeah, take a look at
school
Heidi.
teacher. Like,
Look at Heidi Watney.
Yeah, right.
Well, any pictures of her throwing up?
No.
Keep looking. That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.
Buddy, get us out of here. That's it. Another Mike O'Mara Show is come and gone. Be sure and join us again for more fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you want to correspond with the Mike O'Mara Show, send a package or letter to TMOS, Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. To get your message or birthday request into the Wednesday mailbag. That's tomorrow, everybody.
Yeah, get them in by close of business today, please.
It's Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And remember, we rely on your word of mouth. Tell a friend or family member about TMOS and make sure they get it, too. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying, see you next time, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Yo-ho! 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 Yo-ho!
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.